welcome to Selling Lifestyles in Southwestern Ontario. I'm Amanda Morera with Jill Howe, and we've got the lovely Aly from Ben and Britt at Home Staging. Did I get it all?
Yes, you got it. Hello.
Okay. So today we're here at their warehouse and just going to see what their process is for staging, and just talk about staging, what it is, why we do it, why we encourage our clients to do it, and see it, the behind the scenes. So
I was wowed when I walked in here. What'd you tell me, 7,500 square feet?
Yeah, 7,500 square feet.
I was walking around being like, I want that in my house. I want that in my house. Absolutely beautiful, really up-to-date, gorgeous things inside of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's us every day. It's like shopping at HomeSense.
Oh, it's awesome. It really is.
Yeah. So how often do you go out and shop, for supplies?
Mm-hmm. It depends. I'd say we definitely have our months where it picks up quite a bit. The spring market, as you know, would probably be about, I'm going to say April to June. It kind of starts at the end of April there. Yeah. We'll have to go in and get a few things at times, some extra accessories, stuff like that. But we have gotten pretty good at figuring out, in terms of larger pieces, what we have and what jobs we can accommodate with what we have. So we try not to shop as often.
Yeah, which would be hard. Do you guys get to do some of the shopping, or is Britt doing most of that?
A lot of the big pieces are through Britt. I find because she also has the design leg in the staging division, that she sees a lot of the bigger pieces and then she purchases it for staging. However, some of the accessories, the artwork, the pillows, the smaller pieces, even the side tables and the nightstands, we'll purchase.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you've done a beautiful job.
Thank you.
So how many homes could you stage? I think you said you have 25 out right now. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have 25 out, and I'd say that probably, it depends on the size of the house too. If we're doing 5-bedroom, $1 million up homes, we're going to run out of inventory a little bit sooner. I'd say that we could probably accommodate 35 homes, so an extra 10, I'd say.
Okay, that's
yeah,
amazing.
10, 15.
Yeah. The market has changed. Homes are on the market a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's been for a bit now. Mm-hmm. Have you had to buy a lot more inventory to make up for that? Because there was a time where homes were selling within a week and, that turnaround was a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Yes and no. Again, I'd say with the big pieces, we are pretty good. We're pretty secure. It's the smaller pieces. And I'd say the reason why is because when we have larger scale homes and larger price points in homes that need a lot more accessories and they're sitting on the market longer, that's the stuff that we are kind of lacking at. Okay. But larger furniture, I haven't really seen much of an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, Aly, tell me how you guys are different from some other staging companies out there. What sets you apart from them?
Good question. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I feel like the fact that we have design background is very, it shows in the work that we provide. We're all very detailed oriented, and we constantly go above and beyond. It's not just a matter of walking in, viewing a space, and then just selecting whatever's available in the warehouse. It's what pieces are going to showcase that home to the best of its ability, what pieces reflect the character and the style of the home. So our process, you may only be with us during a 30-minute consultation, and then with us once you see the home staged. But the process is hours long, where we're sitting down and we're doing the floor plan and hand selecting the inventory. It's just an experience that you won't get with any other staging company. And the little details too, like steaming and the way that we make our beds and the way that we clean up after ourselves. And it's just, it's next level.
Those fine details really do matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And tell us, I just jumped right in and started asking questions because I'm excited. But why don't you tell us more about your company and how you got started and kind of what your process is?
Sure, yeah. So our company is Ben and Britt at Home, and we have a few different legs within the company. So we have the design side, the construction side, and the home staging side. Ben and Britt are a husband and wife duo. So Ben's a realtor, Britt's a designer. They've been in the industry for about 10 years. They started out with flipping and kind of doing design jobs for friends and family. And then once they purchased their own home, it kind of flourished. They found their passion for design, and that's when it took off. So she was solely doing design for a bit, and she kept hearing little birdies in the back of her ear saying, oh, home staging, home staging. And if you know Ben and Britt, they're definitely like fly at the seat of their own pants kind of people.
My kind of person.
Yes. So next day that they heard that suggestion, exactly. And maybe that's why it works so well, right? And the next day after they heard that suggestion, they were like, oh, storage unit purchased, inventory purchased. And we actually started out with like putting all of our inventory in a minivan, driving, doing multiple trips to homes and lugging them in ourselves and setting it up. And over the 2 years, I mean, we've grown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you learned.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Amazing. And you really have grown because you started out with how many square feet to begin with?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact, but it was a storage unit, very small, something you would get like a storage box when.
Okay, so you're talking maybe 8 by 10 or 10 by 10?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
And then we went to 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
And then we went to our location on Bessemer, which some people may be familiar with because we did our grand opening. And I'm going to say that was about 45. And now we're at 7,500 square feet. And we're sticking here for a little bit.
Oh, amazing. All in 2 years.
In 2 years, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is so awesome. Well, that's amazing because this is quite the little organization going
Isn't
on.
it? I
Yeah.
know. I was excited for you to see it. Not that
I'm
I've been in this space, but
Yeah.
I see it on Instagram.
Yes,
so.
and you know the process too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we reach out to you. We have clients that are selling their home. What's the process from first time contacting you to having a beautifully staged home?
Amazing. So we're definitely going to arrange a staging consultation. I'll come to the site. They're typically about 30 minutes. Sometimes they'll go a little bit over depending on the client if they need to kind of go through things a little bit more in a deeper description of what's really going on in the plan. But we'll walk through the home. We'll figure out what you guys can keep, what you're going to get rid of, and what we're going to be providing you. Then I'll pretty much send you guys a summary, so a staging report that will go over everything discussed, which is great. So homeowners can use that as reference when preparing for staging day. There should be no mistakes. There should be no bumps in the road, and it's perfect. Next, we'll figure out a staging date that works for the client. We'll come on in. Some homeowners like to be there to let us in. Other people just like to give us a code and say, do your thing. And then depending on the job, it will typically take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. So 3 hours is like a 1-bedroom, easy peasy kind of job. And then I'm going to say 5 hours, 4 hours is probably the larger home, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. And then 6 is like those $1 million and up homes that take a little bit more time.
Yeah, large square
Yeah.
footage.
And how exciting for the homeowner if they do leave and come back for the big reveal. And even for us realtors, I love that. I love going into a home after it's been staged.
We love that too. We definitely like keeping that element of surprise for the homeowner. So if I had it my way, I would say go get a coffee, go do your errands, and then come back and be surprised, right?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
So what if you have a nervous homeowner, maybe staging wasn't their idea and they're not even sold on it? What kind of things, obviously for me, from my experience, and I think same with you, Jill, we find a better success rate with homes that are staged.
Absolutely.
So we know it works, but sitting down with our clients and convincing them of that, there is an expense involved when staging.
Of course.
What's your response to people if do they ever bring up any questions or concerns with having you come into their home?
Absolutely. I've had that quite a few times. And I will say it depends on the client and you kind of feel out the situation. Some clients, they like the tough love and I'll say, hey, you hired me to come here and do a staging consultation. I'm not here to say what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what's going to sell your home. And honestly, like, with this market and this time, like, you have to do what you have to do to stand out. Yeah. It's just the way it is, right?
It's like a beauty contest.
It is. It is, and you're putting your best foot forward.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that you are going to invest a lot more time and a lot more money if you are skeptical and you refuse to do it right the first time, because I've seen multiple clients come back and they're like, oh crap, now I have to do the staging because it didn't work the first time. My house has been sitting on the market for however many months. But yeah, so it just depends on the client. You either kind of hold their hand and walk them through the process. You give them a little bit of tough love. But I think ultimately you got to do what you got to do to stand out in this market.
No, absolutely. And Amanda and I do know that a well-staged home will sell
Yes.
for higher dollars and will sell quicker than a home that's not staged.
Yeah.
And statistically, too, we do tell our clients that stage homes do sell 30% faster than their unstaged
Absolutely.
counterparts. So we've seen it firsthand, unless, again, you're in the higher end budget where it's a select demographic that's looking for a home like that, your home's going to sell faster with staging. Absolutely.
Okay, I got one for you here. So what is it about staging, would you say, that causes the home to sell faster, to sell for more? What is that you bring with your staging that does that?
It's the vision. It's the dream.
That's right.
And I tell clients this all the time. No one lives staged. No one lives
Absolutely
like that. If you saw my home, I think you would laugh. I have socks and dog hair everywhere. That's real life.
Don't we all?
But everyone loves the dream, and
Not you,
everyone loves
actually.
pretty stuff. Why do you live perfectly?
I'm a little OCD.
Oh, dang it.
Kids are older.
So I guess it's just me. There
My
we
kids
go.
are older.
Yeah.
And they're
funny.
trained.
See, that makes it good, right? But it's the dream. Everyone likes pretty stuff, and they all kind of like what they may not be able to have. So giving them the illusion that they are able to have it, and here's the whole picture. Here's what the home looks like when it's perfect and pretty. I don't think anyone can say no to that. And when I was looking for my own home last summer, I was even gravitating towards the staged homes. And I was falling for it, and I'm in the industry.
There you have
So
it.
I can see firsthand it definitely makes a difference.
Oh, that's huge. So did you buy?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was a staged home.
There you go. There you go.
See, it does. I know. I found that too. I've had a client that was buying and selling and really didn't want to invest into staging. And I said to her, look at all the properties that you're sending me. Every single one is
Yeah.
staged. All the ones that aren't staged that I'm sending you, you don't want to even go look at. It makes such a difference, which is, incredible and just helps prove our point.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the first thing people see on realtor.ca, thank you, Amanda, is photos. And so, if it's a well-staged home with beautiful professional photos, you're like you said, your best foot forward. So, makes sense.
so what kind of furniture, like when you go into a home, are you asking people to basically clear it out, put it in storage? Can you work with the big pieces like the beds and the dressers and things like that? Or are you recommending like, please take this out, and do you have solutions for people of where to put it?
So it completely depends on the job. I am more than happy to work with whatever the client's comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's up to their discretion and what's feasible for them. Some clients don't have the ability to store all kinds of pieces in storage or garage or what have you. But I'm also not going to lie. If they're looking for the biggest bang for their buck and what's going to make their house sell faster, then I'm going to give it to you straight. And there's been times where I've gone into consultations, I've said, you got to remove the wallpaper, you got to paint everything, you got to replace all the light fixtures. And that's just my recommendation.
Damn, girl, you are like straight to the point. I like it. I like that you do that and I don't have to.
Me too, because I am not brave.
Oh, yes. Well, we also say, like, our motto is kind of like, we want realtors, like, we'll be the bad guy. You can
Yes,
use us,
I
it's
love that.
fine. But I listen to what the clients want, right? Like,
Okay,
if they're
good.
not wanting to go crazy, then I'll be like, okay, let's see if we can work with this dresser, if we can work with this bed, and that's fine. It's completely up to them. But I'm here to give you my final opinion. So
Amazing.
yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, that tough love is necessary. And they want their house to sell, and they want it to sell quickly, and they want it to sell for the highest value. And
Yeah.
and you're how we get it there.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Aly, can you show us around the warehouse
Of
and
course,
some of
yeah.
your stuff? Okay.
Okay, so here's the perfectly imperfects. So if you see over here, we'll just start kind of closest to the camera. We have rectangular dining tables and desks over here that we kind of stack on top of each other just to try to optimize space as much as possible. This bay at the back behind the tables, we use either for D stages. So when we have the movers coming in, dropping furniture off that was in a home, then we can kind of put it away and what have you, or even deliveries will go into this bay here.
Okay.
We got nightstands, round tables over here, all of our accessories.
So are you remembering all the pieces that you have when you go into a home and your brain is starting to already think like, this is what I have in the warehouse, I've got to pull this? Or are you coming back here and shopping essentially?
No, we know. When you've been in the game for quite some time and we're doing like 20 to 30 houses,
Yeah.
it's, you know, the inventory so well, and we have names for everything too, which is funny. So like if we get a piece and let's say it was a piece that was purchased for a specific job, now it's like, oh, let's use the McLaughlin table for a job, or let's use the Ricardo whatever for a job, and we have the names.
I'm just gonna need these for my kitchen.
Oh, I saw nothing.
Just saying. I'm gonna need these babies.
I love it.
Funny. I know, it's so tempting. It's just all so beautiful.
Yeah.
There we go. And then, yes, our wall of couches, which I said, if all of our inventory was here, you wouldn't be able to move.
Yeah.
So
It's so well organized.
thank you. We try.
And such up-to-date furniture. These chairs over here, how many of you seen those? And so many designs right now. Yeah, absolutely. Beds, you've got them all labeled, queens, singles.
And your real beds, like
Yes.
real mattresses.
Oh yes, because a lot of clients too that are living in the home throughout the staging process need a place to stay. They need to be comfortable. So we provide you with a bed.
Incredible.
Yeah. And it also makes the moving out process easier for you too, because if you're already getting all of your stuff out for storage, you don't need your bed there to stay in it. Like, we have a bed for you, and that way hopefully when your house sells, you got all your stuff ready to go and you can just like go to the new location.
How do you clean the mattresses when you get them back?
Good question. We have an upholstery cleaner.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So everything is clean. An upholstery cleaner for the mattresses. We also upholstery clean all of our couches, our accent chairs, our desk chairs, our ottomans, different things like that. So everything's cleaned in the warehouse and then also on site. When I say that, I don't mean we're cleaning the mattresses on site. That's in the warehouse. But like coffee tables, console tables, stuff like that is cleaned on site as well.
These are all things that nobody even thinks about.
No.
Nobody thinks about what these ladies are
Yeah,
all
that was a
doing.
great question. I'm impressed.
Things are happening behind the scenes that they don't even, you don't even begin to think
Yes,
about
yeah.
that goes into this.
And that's all calculated in the budget and your cost for staging, right? Like all these
Right.
behind the scene things that people aren't seeing that you're providing.
Absolutely. A lot of times it's just, oh, well, they're bringing a couch and accent chairs and they're bringing this and that, right? But it's the maintenance of the inventory. You're also paying to rent our inventory. You're paying for the delivery and the transportation, the installation, the removal of the inventory, and the maintenance, all of that stuff, all of the work that goes into it, and it's behind the scenes. Like I said, it's not just like you see me for 30 minutes and it's the consultation. It's hours that go into each and every person's job.
Yeah.
How many people are on your team? Like how many people are staging a home?
Good question. So I'm the staging manager here with Ben and Britt at Home Staging, and I'm on the jobs as well. I'm constantly kind of on foot doing everything too. I'm not just
Yeah.
here in the office. And then we also have one of our stagers, Talia. We have Brooke, who's currently on mat leave, but she's amazing. She's one of our stagers too. And then we also have our girls, Aiden and Danielle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 of you at a time.
Yes, yeah, and then Britt will pop in and make sure everything's perfect as well. Yeah, oh yeah, and we love it too. Like we're pretty close knit because at the end of the day, you're driving together, hours on the road. You're here all the time pulling. It's a team, and you really gotta work together. So we get along very well.
Yeah. So is there one of you, I'm assuming you, Aly, that is kind of pulling the design and putting it together and everybody else is just kind of using what you've got there and placing it? or are you telling people where to place it, or is everybody creative and can kind of do that on their own?
Everyone's creative and they all kind of do it on our own.
Okay.
I will say some of the jobs, because I'm primarily doing the consultations as well as Britt.
Yeah.
So it's taking the photos, taking the videos, taking the measurements, drawing the floor plans. Then we put it into a system for all of the girls to see, and then we'll sit and chat about it. So we'll draw the floor plans and figure out which furniture layout is best suited for the space. We talk about what pieces, what style that could work for the space. But I trust everyone here to be able to pull for a stage and implement the whole thing very, very well. It's not just a me thing. They're very capable of doing all of that.
That's amazing.
I love that you have a team that you can trust like that, and it doesn't matter who's on site. You know they're going to be giving the client the best job. And the best piece of information I got is that this girl actually comes to Chatham-Kent. She'll come. It's fabulous.
How much gets damaged
That's
back and forth moving?
It definitely happens. I'd say there's some pieces that get damaged quicker than others, and it's kind of inevitable. I think our lamps, our floor lamps, are the guys that it's really hard to move. A lot of furniture pieces aren't meant to be moved over and over and over.
Yeah.
Our artwork as well. I mean, that's bound to happen. But that's why we have a moving company that we hire, and we try to take that precaution, right? Because the longer that we care for our inventory, the better for us, obviously. But so our moving company will wrap it, package it, make sure everything is perfect, and then hopefully minimize as much damage as possible. But yeah, we definitely have certain pieces that unfortunately it's bound to happen.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So if there's somebody watching here today and they are thinking about selling their home, what are some things that they can do in order to prep for you coming in? Like neutral colors, like what kind of things would you recommend just off the top of your head?
Of course. So I guess prepping for the sale of your home without hiring a home stager, the main things that you can do is depersonalize as much as possible. So I know it hurts the heart, but any family photos, any sentimental items, anything that's personal, it needs to be tucked away. We're trying to kind of sell the home to a new family and help them envision themselves in the home. And unfortunately, it doesn't help seeing family photos in the home. So that would definitely be the first thing. I think the second thing that's the biggest would be look and observe your paint, see the condition, see the color, and I would highly suggest painting if need be. And I know it may be boring, but we typically recommend just doing a plain old Oxford white by Benjamin Moore.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great canvas for people, right? Let's say if you're moving into a home and you have a white blank canvas, you can always add wallpaper, you can do a focal wall, you can add a little bit of color on top of it. White is so much easier to paint over than a darker color, and it's just it makes your house smell better when selling, and it just feels a little bit newer and fresher.
Yeah.
That would be my top things. And then decluttering as much as possible. So you don't need the chair or the baskets in the corner, or like a random vase here and there. Try to minimize as much as possible.